Hi everyone, it's Stephanie Shervon, registered play therapist here again, and I'm here to tell you about my game, Owl Pal Truth. It's a therapeutic game specifically designed for children who've been abused, physically and sexually abused, and so it is a true-false dare game. Every card is going to be a true or false or a dare, and so what you're going to do is put the cards face down like this, and you're going to flip over one of the cards, and you're going to ask the child to tell you, do you think that this is true or false about you, if it's a true-false card. And so we don't want the kids to tell us the correct school textbook answer. We want us to tell them what do they think is really true about them. So they're going to flip over one of the cards, and this one says, I was right to tell someone what happened to my body. So the child's going to tell you if they think that's true or false about them. And then you're going to come along and tell them the Owl Pals and us are going to decode hidden messages, and we are going to discover the truth. And so if you can see on this one is true. The child was right to tell someone what happened to their body. So many of the kids who come to see me, someone has told them, you ruined the family, why did you tell? They would never really do that to you. And so this is coming along, helping empower the child. Another card, another example would be, I must have done something to cause this to happen to me. So many kids think that they're at fault or think that they're to blame or somehow they had some role in like what happened to them. They brought this upon themselves. So the therapist in you already knows that this one is false. But it's great for the children to see just really clearly here, it's printed on the cards, that this answer is false. And so it's great that you might have a client that says, no, I think it's true. I had a client that told me, no, this says T-R-U-E, not false. That's what it's saying. And so that's good for me to know where the child is stuck. So I know how to further help them in therapy and what to focus on from here on out. So if this is really a belief of theirs and this is what they really think, then we know, okay, they're stuck here. This is where they need help. Some of my clients will see that it's false and will start crying and get a lot of relief and be like, oh, it's not my fault. I thought it was. I thought I had done something to cause this to happen. So over all the years that I've seen kids in therapy, I just tried to take everything that I've learned about the children who've been abused, who've come to see me, and put it in one game. Some of the cards are going to be dares. So some dares are going to be to help us further help them with what has happened, or it's going to be fun and silly to help reduce their anxiety in the game. So this one's asking about their least favorite sensory. So, of course, some of the kids are going to say their least favorite smells like dog poop, something like that. But usually somewhere in one of these senses, it's going to tell us a trigger for them. So this card is specifically helpful. And so then what I would do as a therapist is find out. So maybe it's the sound of a slamming door, or maybe it's the smell of cigarette smoke or alcohol, or maybe it's certain types of fabric that maybe now they've got new clothes in foster care that remind them of a time that they were abused. And so I would encourage the family to get rid of those negative sensory experiences, kind of put them on a sensory diet, so to speak. And later on in the game, one of the cards is their favorite one. And the family, or whoever has the child right now, the caregiver, I would encourage them to put in those favorites. Like I was saying, some of the dares are going to be fun and silly. So this one says, make up a silly handshake with your partner. So these dares that are fun and silly, there'll be one that'll say like, make silly face at your partner and so on. These ones are all to reduce the client's anxiety, talking about such a serious topic, and help it continue to be non-threatening like it is with the hidden messages and so on. But also, all of the dares that are like this are appropriate things that kids can do with their bodies. So they could appropriately shake somebody's hand. They could make a silly face at them, and so on. Because some of my clients will also start trying to repeat what was happened to them with another child. So we also want to help them be very appropriate with their body. One of the other cards, this one says, my body can do lots of wonderful things. These are for my clients who will sometimes have encopresis or enuresis following the abuse. And so they might feel like their body is not functioning the way it should, or is kind of letting them down in some way. And so, or I have some kids that are physically injured and now maybe they have a permanent limp. And so this one is still saying that their body can do lots of wonderful things. So of course the therapist knows this is true. So we would discover with the kids, go and decode our messages, and you'd find out that the answer is true. So hopefully you can see that, but when you go and put on our little decoder on our hidden messages, it'll say the answer is true. And so what's nice about this game is so many kids have to keep the abuse hidden and secret, and instead of keeping the abuse hidden now, we are now finding the hidden truth about what happened to them. So what happened to them is no longer a secret, of course, and anything that's hidden is the truth, not the abuse staying hidden. Some of them cards are going to be really positive phrases, like positive affirmations. Like this one says, I'm brave. So I have some kids say, no, I'm not brave. I hid in the closet when my dad beat up my mom. And so they will tell me, no, I think this is false. Other kids will say like, oh, I had to testify. Yeah, I had to be really brave that day. So of course you go and decode this one, and this one is going to be true. I think I have time for one more card because I know I'm probably taking a lot of your time. But this one says, draw what makes you feel brave. So there's going to be 2 cards where it's going to require you just have like paper and some crayons or markers, and draw what makes you feel brave. So I've had kids draw their heart and say what helps them feel brave is guarding their heart, because whoever abused them broke their trust. Maybe not only physically hurt them, but violated their trust. And so guarding their heart now is how they are feeling brave or how they are feeling safe. Anyways, thank you so much for checking out my game. Again, this is Owl Pal Truth. You can find it on Amazon. I'm also getting it loaded up on my website, and so I'm super excited to share it with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video.